All right guys, finally we're doing a full boat tour. I know you have seen Grace from so many angles if you've been watching this channel, but today we're gonna go in depth. A couple disclaimers, the boat is not done. There are some projects that are halfway finished, not even started, and it's a super windy, rocky day. So if there's some weird things with the audio or it's a little shaky, give me some grace here, no pun intended. Let's go do a tour. All right, welcome to Sailing Vessel Grace, technically Sailing Yacht Grace. She is a 1994 Beneteau 510. She's 30 years old, and we've spent just about a year renovating the boat. All I can say about this boat is that she is sexy and she is capable. We've completely outfitted Grace to be full-time, off the grid, self-sufficient, world touring, all those things, with lots of space for guests, a lot of length at the waterline, and all the bells and whistles and cruiser gadgets. This is an amazing boat. Starting at the back, we have our High Field Classic 310 tender. It's 10 foot 2 inches long, obviously inflatable aluminum bottom. Great tender with the Tohatsu 20 horsepower on the back. The swim platform's great, super functional. It folds down for water access and folds up while you're underway. Swim ladder comes down. Transom we have repainted in the yard and just came out great. Working our way forward, we've got the gas tank for the tender sitting here. But this is Charlie's turf pad. This is where he does his business sometimes. The back locker, we have access to our steering compartment. This is the toggle for our beanie davits up there to raise and lower the tender. Steering access, lots of electronics down here. The dinghy lift I'm running off of Dyneema, some small Harkin blocks, and an $89 winch I got from Harbor Freight. And so far it's working great. When this swim platform folds up, it creates Charlie's spot. Charlie loves to sleep under here under passage. We'll put a blanket down there for him, so we went ahead and named it Charlie's spot. Starboard aft, we have propane. Our instrument cluster. All of our electronics are upgraded. We have B&G electronics all throughout. This is the Zeus 3 9-inch chart plotter and 2 Triton displays to show us all of our wind, course over ground, speed, everything we might need. And then here we have our bow thruster control. We have some inflatables, some throwables, lots of safety gear back here, a compass on both sides, throttle here, and the split helms, which make super easy access through here. I love having the split helms. 99% of the time I'm using this starboard helm with all my instruments, but every now and then if we're in a tight spot, I'll run over here to look down the port side. Also, how could I forget, we have our rod holders in the back and our cup holders. They are mounted on top of a brand new 21-foot long aluminum top we had custom made in Florida, which houses 6 320 watt solar panels from Renovated, and they have been amazing. The top is vinyl, gray on the bottom to be sexy, white on the top to reflect heat, and it's worked out great. We've mounted our rod holders here. We need to grow our collection of fishing rods. Paddle North paddles, fishing net, new clutches here, winch, sheets, winch, furler. We love to go paddleboarding, and we were actually sent these paddle boards from Paddle North. They're the Portagers, and they're amazing. We have a few more here as well. I love the little cockpit table. It has leaves that fold up so that we can entertain on both sides. Compartment in the middle. I usually keep fishing gear in there, things like that. We have huge storage compartments on both sides. The port side is filled with all of our cleaning materials for the deck, non-skid cleaner, all of our Stark Yacht Care products, chamois, pressure washer, boat soap, all that stuff. Outside of that, we have our line locker. All of our extra lines, dock lines, mooring lines stay in here. And we also have our shore power connection. You'll see we have on both sides jack lines live permanently on our deck. In the starboard side locker, I keep a very old life raft, which should probably be mounted on deck. I need the money for a mount. Our go box, which has passports when we're underway, medical supplies, water, signals, anything we might need for rescuing. We have fishing gear, a little bit of tackle, our offshore life jackets. This is a waterproof container completely filled with flares, portable generator, and a little bit of scuba gear, buckets, and pumps for our paddle boards. And of course, I have to mention the amazing Deckit synthetic teak marine flooring. They sent us this stuff when our old teak was rotten, and it is just so comfortable underfoot, super easy to clean, and Deckit has even put our logo in front of the companionway. How good is that? All right, we're gonna work our way forward. It's gonna be windy, so we'll see how it goes. You see here white on top, solar panels back there. White to reflect heat, like I said. Got all new logos done. The detail work, she's looking good. The Dodger protects us from wind and spray and zips open here to let airflow in on a hot day. We've upgraded all of our running lines, all of the blocks, everything on the boat that moves is new. Our sail bag I have some issues with. The zipper was put inches down. It should have been put here. So the bag doesn't fully fit in there. The sail doesn't fully fit in the bag. Up here we keep all of our fenders around the mast, winch handles. Bean bags live up here on windy days so they don't blow away. We have a couple hatches on deck. These are the hatches for our cabin, the master cabin. This is the bow locker, one of the reasons I fell in love with the boat. The windlass is massive, original to the boat. It brings the chain up with the motor, but does not feed it down. So we feed it down by hand, and then we have a foot pedal switch that brings it up. Let's go into the bow locker. All right, like I said, this is a realistic tour. I didn't clean up a lot. I'm trying to do these vlogs every day, so I only had so much time to get the boat looking good for you guys. It is super moldy in here right now. It's one of the projects I need to tackle. There's some moisture coming into this space from the deck, and then mold. But this is my favorite place on the boat, to be honest with you. I'm really happy that we have this space. Storage is such an issue on any boat, and especially a world cruising boat. But this is a game changer for us. This actually used to be a crew cabin. This boat was in charter. You see, this used to be the crew cabin. So you would have the captain and the stewardess chef sleeping in here. These were bunk beds. But now we have all of our tools, electrical, everything from Total Boat, engine parts, funnels, everything you can think of, labeled and organized in these. We have some random bits and bobs like our tarp, our dock cart, tool bag, large fenders that are too ugly to live on deck. We have our Mantis Marine dive compressor resting safely on the floor, and our massive Dometic fridge freezer top loader. We also keep some chemicals down here. Here on the wall you'll see some of our electrical components. This one is powering the bow thruster, which is located down here. You have the bow thruster motor, and then this is the big fiberglassed in bow thruster tube. We had the bow thruster installed in Florida when we first purchased the boat, and it's a game changer. I cannot imagine running this boat without that bow thruster. But this space is tight. It probably looks super tight on the camera, but I can come down in here and get pretty much any tool I need in less than a minute. I know where everything is. I've been meticulous about keeping it all in the same place, and it is just an amazing storage compartment for us. When we have projects going on, it's a game changer for us. This hatch is new. The two middle hatches are new. These are not new, and they leak, which is not super fun. All of the standing rigging is new. All of the light lines are new. Light getting did. Makes a huge difference for comfortability and having a dog on boat. Our mast height is 65 feet. Our draft is 5.9 feet. There you see we have our B&G Halo 20 Plus radar. Goes out to 30 miles at sea. Keeps us nice and safe. We have white spreader lights that also turn into red spreader lights and illuminate the whole deck. We also have a deck light stimulate combo that goes forward. We have the navigation lights, the red and green, up forward there. Sloop rig. So we got a nice Genoa, our mainsail. That's it. That's all we got right now. But we did set up the boat. We have some extra lines and some things installed so that we're ready for a spinnaker one day. All we got to buy is the sail. We have a skylight here. It does slide closed if we want to darken it up in there. Scuba tanks live on the port side here. Just tied in with some paracord. No issues so far. All right, companionway. The steps remove, and then this panel behind the steps removed, so we have access inside the whole stairway compartment. This obviously slides closed, and then we have wooden inserts to close the door. My lovely girlfriend put these nautical charts in behind and resined over it with some Total Boat resin. And the companionway is one of my favorite things on the boat. Just stunning. Let's start here at the electrical panel. So we have another B&G Zeus. It doesn't have all the functionalities of the chart plotter that's outside because this was actually brought off of a lightning struck boat. And so it has some damage and it has some quirks. It was given to us for free. And what we can do now is it mirrors the chart plotter outside so that if we're down here underway, we can monitor the radar and we could also see the track of our swing while we're at anchor to make sure that we're not dragging. So it's actually really nice. This is our Victron energy unit. So this shows us how much power we're making, how much power we have, how much power we're using. You can change a lot of settings in here. We have our AC distribution panel here. So this is going to be water heater, outlets, things like that. And then over here we have lights. So boom, 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 boom. And then all of our electronics, chart plotters, stereo, water pressure, all that lives here. We have a bilge pump that is always set to auto, and then we have a high water alarm next to it. We have our integral VHF stereo. This is our ice maker. We don't use it very much when we're alone, but when guests are on, we put it to work, and it makes 50 pounds of ice a day, which is amazing. We did a new refrigerator. We did a standing fridge instead of a top loader, and it is just a game changer for us. The food does come flying out of it anytime we're underway and we're healing, but I just love having the shelves and having it organized and not having to dig down to the bottom. Little storage compartment here, got some food, some Charlie's toys. This is kind of the junk drawer. There's a lot of junk drawers. This standing cabinet here, we have our JBL speaker. All right, starboard aft cabin. We have a few things stored in right now, but it's really come together. I've told you before we gel coated the ceiling because the vinyl came down, and we've trimmed it out with this rope here. I think it's super cute. Small little library, hanging locker. And you have a few drawers here, and a compartment for your shoes. It's quite nice. Light switch for the light overhead, light here, and a fan in the corner. Lots of windows tucked away. I love this little cabin. This is our preferred guest cabin, I think. This is probably the VIP cabin right now because it's mostly finished. Underneath this bed, I have all the tools that I need often. So wrenches, drills, multimeter, all that. Or any tools really that I don't want to have access to moisture, I keep under here. This room has access to this head, but we'll come through this way. This is the day head. We upgraded to an electric toilet, which is currently giving us problems. There's also a shower head. So we take showers in here, drains through the floor. In the back we have our toiletries. Nice, simple, decent head. Under the stairs, we have food stores, our autopilot computers back there, and a couple chemicals which probably shouldn't be next to our food stores. Underneath we have storage for bags. Under here is bag storage as well. The floors are not in the best shape. I do plan on replacing them one day, maybe somewhere cheap like Panama. Working our way around. This is one of my favorite things on the boat. This is my mother's stamp collection from her pen pal who was traveling all around the world. We have our carbon fiber deck poles, which I don't want anything to happen to, so they stay inside. These are from Deck Weapons. They are sexy and they are light as a pin, and they live permanently right here. I'm trying to do this with one hand with easy access to grab them and take them outside. Just got a second coat on this one, so it's coming along, catching up to the starboard cabin. Basically identical mirror image of the starboard cabin, but with a private bathroom. Here we have the main salon and the galley. We'll start in the galley. We have our Eno gimbaling stove, 3-burner stovetop, and the oven. Propane, and it has all worked amazing. I love this thing. Underneath, we keep our pots and pans. Utensils back here. I would really love to upgrade this to a full sink one day, but for now, we have the single sink and our dish rack. In these cabinets live cups and our microwave. And down here, we have the sliding doors so our dishes don't go flying around when we are underway. We did a peel and stick backsplash, which looks great, and we used, again, Total Boat epoxy and resin for the countertops, and I think that turned out great. This compartment holds big pots and pans, Tupperware, blender, all that sort of thing. Spices, all the caffeine that you could need, matcha, coffee, lots of types of coffee, and a little bit more food. If you're wondering what this blue hole is, it's for our trash can. Here we have trash. We also have our Victron inverter and our 3 solar charge controllers. Underneath the sink, we have chemicals, rags. We go through a lot of them. In the bar, we have a bar. On this side, we have our utensils, candles, things like that. This whole bar removes, unbolts, and slides out to the side, which is very nice because we have amazing access to our engine. We have access from this side, and if you give me 1 second, we also have access from this side. This is a Perkins 4236, 85 horsepower, 4-cylinder beast of a tractor engine. Supposed to be unstoppable, very simple to work on. Currently giving us a lot of problems, a lot of leaks. It's an ongoing issue, but we'll get there. I'm confident in this engine because it's simple and it's a really robust, old school engine. And so I think with the proper money applied and the time applied, this engine will keep getting us down the line. You know, she has her problems, but she's getting us down the road so far, and I'm really happy about that. We did have this engine completely rebuilt, but, you know, didn't turn out exactly the way we wanted it to. There's still lots of issues. So like I said, there's some screws on this side, screws on that side. All of this removes, giving us complete walk-around access of the engine. Moving on, under the settee, under each compartment almost, we have our badass Dakota Lithium 200 amp hour batteries. These are the smart lithium batteries. We have 5 of them, giving us a total of 1,000 amp hours of lithium, for the house bank. Behind the settee, we have storage compartments. This one's empty. That's how you know you have a lot of storage. And this one is paint supplies, things like that. So is that one in the corner. And here is a disaster. This is where I keep all my camera equipment. I have way too much of it, and every time I organize it, it ends up looking like this. But that's where that lives. In here we have first aid kit, other camera equipment, all the ship's documentation, and this one goes way back. There's more storage here, which right now has massive jugs of oil. Now I did say that most of them have batteries, but this one right here has the hot water heater. We installed it in Charleston when it was freezing, and now we never use it. Cabinets on this side is another junk drawer. We have games, some cigars, a tattoo machine, things like that. This map is one of my favorite things on the boat. Every time we go to a new place, we scratch it off the map. This is actually places that I've been with my girlfriend. If it were all the places that she's been to and that I've been to independently, it would be nearly covered. But we're taking it slow, and we're just doing all the places that her and I have been together. It's so frustrating, by the way, going down the Caribbean. It's just this little tiny little island to scratch off. It doesn't look like you're making any progress. Underneath this big hatch is one of the water tanks. We have 4 water tanks, one here, one underneath the salon table, and then we have 2 underneath the floor, underneath the master cabin bed, for a total of 240 gallons of water tankage. By the way, we have 150 gallons of diesel tankage. There's more storage on this side. Food, things like that. Both of these lift up. So here we have our lead acid battery. That's our starter battery. Our bilge pump, manual, gulper bilge pump, and the automatic bilge pump. And then there in the corner is the float switch for our high water alarm. I haven't opened that one in a while. It needs a cleaning. Underneath that is one more lithium battery. Underneath, water connections, electrical connections. Same on the other side. Under this compartment, we have our sump pump. It basically pumps out the gray water from bathroom sinks, showers. Under this one, if I move our shoe basket, we have our transducer and our compass for all the electronics. Underneath this, you have a very, very dirty hatch that needs to be cleaned, but you have access to the prop shaft and all of our fittings, through-hole fittings, and then our fuel filter. This is the wall of walls. This is the wall of fame and shame. So we have contractors that have been on the boat, friends who have been on the boat, me and my lovely girlfriend, and patrons. All of the Grace Gang, the people supporting this channel, all make their way onto this. I'm actually out of film, so if you don't see yours on there, I'm going to print it. I'm getting film soon. So I hope to fill up this wall, this wall, this wall, and this wall, all with Polaroids one day. I think it's really cool because what a collection, you know, it represents friends and memories, and that's the plan. That's the thing I'm the most excited about finishing. This cabinet used to hold all of the electronics. It still has some remnants of that, but most of them we've ripped out. It still has the main shutoff switches for all of our battery banks. It has a monitor for our starter battery, battery isolator, fuse for our bow thruster and windlass. I'm hoping to maybe one day put shelves in here and then have this be the bar, because there's a bar over here that I'm getting rid of. Inside the salon table, we have blankets. but we also have a bar. Not only are the blankets nice to have right next to the couch, but they keep all the bottles from banging around. But I'm getting rid of this awesome compartment one day, because what I would really like is for this table to come down and those cushions to go over the table and make one big large bed. And what I need for that is some telescopic legs, and what I'm going to have to do is remove this base, which will in fact remove the bar. So hopefully this will be the new bar one day soon. All right, entering our master cabin. If you missed the video of the master cabin conversion, this boat used to have 5 cabins. So the crew cabin up forward, the 2 in the back, and then 2 up here. You can see that this used to be a wall right down the middle, leaving this as a pretty decent cabin, but to be honest with you, so small for 2 people and a dog. And so we took out the wall and trimmed it out, and now we are well on our way to having an amazing master cabin. We haven't taken the time to replace it with like an actual mattress. We just have the mattresses from before, so obviously it goes all the way to the corners, and it is larger than a California King, for reference. It is just massive. We have so much storage. In here I keep supplements, some pictures, all of my hats. I am a hat addict. I don't know if you saw, I have hats on the ready to go on my head, and I have more hats in the back corner. I have my little library, massive hats. I literally can't get enough hats. Clothes in here, more clothes, spare towels, all my girlfriend's things, her books and whatnot. But the bed is just amazing. There's so much space, look. I'm 6'3", I don't reach either side, so it's pretty decent. We have a fan on the wall, and a fan over there on that wall. But we've also added these battery-powered fans, and that keeps it pretty darn cool in here. We also have 2 hatches, so we can open them up, and there's lots of crazy good airflow, and we can watch the stars at night. We have a window on either side as well. Let's talk bathrooms. There's 2 bathrooms that were both small as could be, with a head and a shower. And what my plan is, I plan on removing this toilet. It's a pump manual toilet that is broken and we have never used. So I plan on removing this toilet and putting a wooden kind of like bench shelf here, and only making this a shower. We've removed the door, and we have a shower curtain that goes in here, and we're gonna open up as much space as we can so we have room to shower, have a nice shower. And then this one over here, this bathroom is currently stowing a bunch of foam that I thought I was going to use to redo upholstery, but I'm going to throw away soon. I'm going to replace this eventually with an electric head, and that bathroom will only be for the toilet, whereas that one will be for showers. We also have hanging lockers here on both sides. His and hers, if you will. Underneath the bed, storage, storage, storage. Massive compartments under there. That's where we keep all of our winter clothes, whatnot. Here, on both sides, foul weather gear, random camera gear. On that side is dirty hamper on that drawer over there. And underneath both sides in here is all of our water connections. So you have all of our water hose manifold, water pump, things like that. Also, underneath this side of the bed is our Seawater Pro water maker, which turns salt water into fresh, clean drinking water at a rate of 40 gallons an hour. The control for it is here, and it's a game changer. So, in conclusion, that is the tour of Sailing Yacht Grace. She's a work in progress, but so is every boat. She has some quirks, she has some things that need to be replaced, but now most of it is cosmetic. And aside for the fact that I don't have air conditioning and would really like some, this boat is outfitted to take us around the world. Over the next 6 years, we're going to be circumnavigating the world with this boat, living off of solar, living off of the water maker with no electricity bill, no water bill, no rent, living on anchor for free at most places, chasing our dreams. When this boat came to me, she had so many problems and she had been neglected. She had been run into the ground, if you will. But now, after so much work, she is really a head turner. She's in great shape. She's capable. She's easy to sail. She's self-sufficient. And she's home. I hope you enjoyed this tour of Sailing Vessel Grace. I will make another tour when we make some more progress and the boat changes. There will be more boat tours. Hopefully next time it's a little less rocky and windy. Anyways, I will see you guys tomorrow with another video. I love you guys. Peace. This one has a bunch of old cases of beer, canned food, and pasta. I'm realizing on this tour that I have a lot more cleaning to do. You're gonna hear a really fun noise because these are tight. How great is that? It's self-sufficient, world touring, all those things. With lots of space for guests. With lots of space for guests.